Hi everybody, happy National Day. Uh, in today's video, I have a few things to talk about. First thing, I'm using my voice again and not Mr. Angmo. Um, this is because even though I did not get the 600 likes for my first video, I have read all the comments that came in, and I've decided to use my voice for most of my videos in future. Why I say most? Um, this is because I might have some very short videos, and I think for those videos, it would be okay for Mr. Angmo to voice them. And I hope you will give Mr. Angmo some support as well. Uh, he is already feeling very depressed that so many people do not like his voice. We have to be fair lah. He cannot help sounding the way he sounds. It is just like we cannot help sounding the way we sound, right? Jokes aside, before I start on the topic proper, which is going to be about retirement, specifically early retirement, and how AK prepared for FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Right. So before we start on that, um, I want to highlight that I have my community tab in the YouTube channel enabled. So if you went there before and there was nothing there, I just posted something yesterday and today. Uh, so that community tab, I intend for it to be a bit more lighthearted, and I hope you enjoy it. All right, let me know what you think about the community tab in my channel, and I will see what else we can do with it. Right, and the next thing, this is National Day. It's a public holiday. Most of us are not working. Of course, AK is always not working, but you know what I mean, right? So if you have some free time and you enjoy video games like I do, I will leave a link in the description below with my referral code for World of Warships, which is what I'm playing now. Right? It is a free-to-play game. I've not paid a single cent, and I've managed just recently to get my Tier 9 warship, which is in the thumbnail uh, that you see now on screen. Right? It is a Tier 9 battle cruiser, a German cruiser. And well, the game is a lot of fun, So if you would like to give it a try, it's totally free to play. Use my referral code. It's on the Asian server, just to be sure. And you will get some freebies in game, and AK will also get some freebies in game. Who doesn't like free stuff, right? Okay, now the topic proper. During the podcast with the fifth person, Adam asked me if I knew about FIRE. And of course, I told him I only found out about F.I.R.E. after I did it. You know, I'm an older person. I don't want to say I'm an old person because I'm not, right? I was so sad when I went grocery shopping, my weekly grocery shopping, and someone accidentally bumped into me and then said, uncle, sorry, you okay, no, uncle? Uh, you know, I almost fell, but I didn't, right? So maybe the person was afraid that I might have injured myself or something. I don't know, lah. But uncle, leh, oh my goodness, very sad, lah. Okay, before I forget what I was supposed to say, during my time, no such thing as F.I.R.E. I was basically just thinking about early retirement and that's it. So and now you have this F.I.R.E. and you have so many versions of it as well. I first found out there was lean fire and I blogged about lean fire and I said it wasn't for me. Then lately I found out about barista fire. Of course, barista, once I hear the word, I think of coffee. Someone who makes coffee for me in a cafe. But the very pretty coffee, with the patterns, with the cream and all that. So today, just now, I published a blog on lean fire and barista fire and how I crunch some numbers and whether they would be suitable for a person like me if I was like say 20, 30 years younger. I won't talk about that blog. I will not share what I said in that blog in this video, otherwise this video will become too long again. I will leave a link to that blog post in the description below. So if you are interested to find out more about lean fire and barista fire and my perspective, you can read that at your own leisure. Okay? My style of fire as what is known now. I don't know. They call it fat fire, right? I don't like that fat fire. AK was fat at one time, and I worked very hard to lose weight, to eat clean, and have a healthier lifestyle. So whenever people say fat, I get PTSD lah. So don't want. I think I shall call it AK fire, right? So if you are interested in AK fire, in this video, I will tell you how I did it. Okay. Basically, for this video, I pulled up 3 of my old blog posts. The first one is to retire by 45, which was always my plan. And of course, I succeeded in doing it. I say to retire by 45, you must have a plan, right? And of course, there's a saying that you must always have a plan because not having a plan, you are planning to fail, right? So have a plan and stick to it, right? So I will leave a link to all these blog posts in the description so you can read more in detail if you want to. But basically in that blog, what I said was that when I first became a working adult, I was already thinking, well, for how long would I want to stay employed? And at what age would be a good time to retire? I didn't want to work till the mandatory retirement age. Basically, I thought that would be too old, and I would have been left with too little time to do things which I truly enjoy. So, but I must caution that this was something I thought of a long time ago, right, as a young adult. So I was saving money. I was also trying to grow my wealth through investments. And I was basically thinking of having enough wealth to retire by age 45 and to have the money last me till at least age 75. Right. Uh, the exact numbers, you can read the blog post. But in a nutshell, I came up with a number that said I had to save like $68,000 a year, every year for 20 years before I could retire at age 45 safely. And the money should last me till I'm age 75. And that was based on a very modest requirement of $2,500 spending money per month in retirement. Of course, in that amount was supposed to be pre-inflation. So uh, then what happened was I got a bit depressed after crunching the numbers, because that's such a to me as a young working adult, that was such a big number, you know, and how was I going to do it? Then I decided that I had to invest more diligently for income, right? And I decided that I had to have a war chest, right? So I didn't save money for the sake of saving money. I put money in my war chest to wait for opportunities. So Mr. Market would have bouts of depression. And during these times, Mr. Market would give offers which are too good to refuse, right? That if you didn't have a war chest, you wouldn't be able to take advantage of those offers, right? So why I decided to invest for income, or why the emphasis to invest for income, because I was doing other things as well and not just investing for income. Because I decided that dividends are more reliable than Mr. Market's mood swings. So when Mr. Market's depressed, I get dividends. When Mr. Market's happy, I get dividends. So I bought mostly stocks which paid meaningful and sustainable dividends, or what I thought to be, for many, many years, leading to the year I retired from the workforce, right? And the nice thing about buying from Mr. Market when he's depressed, it's not only for the dividends. I mean, the yield would be higher, which is very nice. There's also the fact that we will probably be buying the stocks undervalued, which means there was a decent chance of capital gains as well during the times when I bought, you know. So over time, you can imagine you have a combination of dividends and capital gains. And in this way, my retirement plan could be sped up, and I was able to retire a few months before I turned 45. Right. So the initial plan was to save money, accumulate wealth, basically, and to retire once I hit a certain number. Now, the problem with that is, I thought of the money lasting me from 45 to 75. What if I were to have a long life? Then after age 75, no more money, that kind of thing. So investing for income helps to plug that gap. And of course, the second prong, it is a two-prong approach for me. The second prong is CPF, right? And I've said before, CPF is the ultimate safety net. And if my entire investment portfolio should fail for some reason, very unlikely, but who knows, it could happen, then my CPF savings would be available for me to draw upon, and in fact it will start paying me automatically by the time I'm 70 years old. Even if I decide I want to leave the money in the CPF account, I can't leave all the money inside, because at 70 years old they will start paying you every month a sum of money, right? If you have met the requirements, which and regular readers, long-time readers will know that I've always been a believer in the CPF system, and I've blogged about it extensively. And but if you are interested in the numbers, or because you are new, or if you have forgotten what I said, I have a blog post from the year 2014. The title was How to Grow 100,000 to $225,000 in 20 years without any risk, volatility, and zero monitoring on our part, right? So that's a CPF SA Oppa AK style. I'll leave a link in the description below as well. Now, earlier last year, someone asked me, about a retirement drawdown strategy, right? How to come up with a strategy that would ensure that our financial resources would be able to see us through retirement till the day we say bye bye to this world. So I told him I really am not allowed to give advice, and I don't want to, because I don't want to be responsible for anyone's life. All I can do is share my own story and what has worked for me. And all of us have a different background, different experience, different circumstances. For me, my family almost went bankrupt when I was a child, and that scarred me mentally, psychologically, emotionally, whatever. For until now, I still remember. And one of my biggest fears was not to have any money. And now, I don't have to fear that anymore, but it is very deep seated, Sorry. I didn't want to grow old and destitute, penniless. And so I was a squirrel. I was always trying to save money, right? So mentally scarred, you know. Um, so to me, when planning for retirement, the biggest thing in my mind was, would I run out of money? And I decided a long time ago that in my retirement, I do not want to worry about outliving my savings. That is a scary thought. So my focus is on passive income generation. My strategy is on passive income generation so that I will not have to draw from my savings. Right? And that is from the inflow angle. And in the outflow angle, I try to keep my needs simple and my wants few. Even when I was making more money every year as a working adult. So my lifestyle stayed the same or very similar throughout the years. I did not really upgrade my lifestyle very much, you know. And so if you have this um, approach to grow passive income and to be prudent when it comes to expenses, even in retirement, we could see our savings growing. And that is a very attractive idea to me. Even though we might be in such a situation, I mean, like in my case, I still believe in having an emergency fund, right? Because there's always a chance, like what we saw during the pandemic, of our passive income taking a hit. And when income goes down, our expenses, sometimes we can make some adjustments and reduce a bit, but in many cases, it could be quite difficult. And that is where an emergency fund comes in. So, like I say, don't be too optimistic. You know, we have to be pragmatic. You know, if things do go wrong, we have an emergency fund. So even in retirement, I have an emergency fund. For anyone who's preparing for F.I.R.E, and no matter which school you subscribe to, I think this is an important point to bear in mind. Having an emergency fund and an adequate one as well, right? If you want to know what I think is an adequate emergency fund, I will leave a link in the description below to one of my blog posts. All right. So basically, that's it. You know, how AK approach F.I.R.E. So if you like it, you can certainly modify some of the ideas I've shared and adopt it. But you must remember that this is what worked for me. You have to find something that works for you, right? I mean, if what works for me works for you as well, that's good. I'm happy, right? But it is never my way or the highway. Think carefully about what you want, what you need in retirement. Look at what you have now. Think of what you are able to do from now till your desired retirement age. Come up with a realistic plan which you must be comfortable with, because if you are not comfortable with it, the chances of you giving up halfway would be higher, right? Then be disciplined and march towards your goal. There you have it. and I'll be a bit more long-winded here. Once we reach our goal in retirement, be cautious, stay mostly conservative when it comes to money, and we should be fine. Don't let people cheat your money, right? And be very careful with all the apps in your phones and all that kind of thing these days. When people want to cheat your money, there are so many ways. So better be a hermit like AK lah, is safer, right? So the best retirement drawdown strategy is one that gives us peace of mind lah, and mine gives me peace of mind. Okay, so I think that's all for today. Once again, happy National Day. And if you want to play a video game, join me in World of Warships. Use my referral link in the description below. Okay, that's all for now. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.